Welcome to Weight Loss and Wellness for Real, the podcast where people like you get the practical solutions and support you need to permanently lose the physical and mental weight so you can feel better and live the life you really want to live in the body and mind you really want to be living in. If you're looking to overcome your stress eating, overeating, binging behaviors, and move to a place of food and body freedom, as well as find more meaning and more moments of joy in life, you are in the right place. Hello, everyone. Thanks for being here and listening. Today, we are going to talk about something I think that almost everyone can relate to, how to create sustainable routines. So whether it's eating healthier, exercising more, or just building habits that make life feel maybe a little less chaotic, we've all struggled with making routines that actually stick. And you know how it goes. We get motivated, we start strong, and then life happens, we fall off track, we feel frustrated, and end up back at square one. And why is it so hard to create routines that last? Especially because we really want to. We want these routines in our lives. We know they make us feel good, they give us more energy, they make us uh, be in the space that we really want to be in. So why is it so hard to create these routines that stick? Today, we're going to unpack that, and I'm going to share some examples from working with clients. And I'm also going to, as always, give you really practical strategies that you can start using today to build routines that work for you, not against you. Hey everyone, just a real quick interruption. I'm really excited to tell you about fizzvantage, a company I have used for years and years and who I have recently partnered with in an ambassadorship for the podcast. This is one of the highest quality supplement companies out there. And the best part is I know the owner and his commitment to quality in his products. I actually interviewed the owner, Eric Hurst, on the podcast a while back, and you can hear him talk firsthand about his commitment to quality in episode, I think it was 171, if you're interested. Also in that one, there was a ton you can learn about aging optimally and performing at your best. I think when people make the decision to add some supplements into their daily habits, they don't think often how important it is to know and vet the companies you are buying from. There is no regulation on supplements. And so when you buy something, you really have no idea what you are getting. You really want to vet the companies heavily so that you know what you are spending your money on and exactly that you're getting exactly what you believe you are buying. So with fizzvantage, you really don't have to think about it. What you buy is the highest quality of what you can get. I use the fizzvantage Powerplex plant-based protein complex. And no, I am not plant-based, but I'm not doing well with dairy right now, and whey protein causes some issues for me. This is something I'm working on. But in the meantime, in order for me to get in my optimal daily protein amount for maintaining lean body mass, keeping my appetite in check, and for athletic performance, I have to supplement with a protein powder, and this is my favorite. I alternate between vanilla and chocolate, and this plant-based protein complex is different than others out there in that it includes all the essential amino acids. So it's like a whey protein, has all the essential amino acids. Most plant-based protein powders don't. It also has creatine and beta-alanine in it. These are huge bonuses. Plus, fizzvantage plant protein only has a few carbs in it, where most plant protein powders have lots and lots. If you do well with whey protein, then use their whey protein blend. It's also really great. fizzvantage has lots of great products that you can check out, but another one that I find so helpful for my goals and lifestyle is Redux HP. And this is an all-natural pain relief, which helps to improve recovery from rigorous exercise, supports a healthy inflammation response, combats muscle breakdown, and improves performance. But the best is it's an all-natural way to relieve aches, pains, and muscle soreness. This has saved me from popping ibuprofen for the couple of migraines I was getting twice a month, as well as when I had a big climbing or biking day and would wake up sore. So if you don't know how bad things can get from popping Ibu, do a little research. Avoid Ibu, in my opinion, really important for our health long term. So anyway, using this product instead can be a really great way to lessen pain naturally and inflammation. You can get a discount on any fizzvantage product by going to fizzvantage.com. fizzvantage is spelled
PHYSIVANTAGE. So like physical advantage, Fizzy Advantage, and use my code Heather Heinen. Capital HEATHER, capital HEYNEN, all one word, no spaces, Heather Heinen, and you will save some money on any product you choose. I also have a link in the episode description below that you can use. Check it out and see all that they have to offer.
So, why is it that so many of us really struggle to stick to routines even when we want to? And one of the biggest reasons I see with my own clients is that we often start out way too big. And this was me for years and years and years. I would do this all the time. We go all in on this super just the super elaborate plan, thinking we can overhaul our entire lifestyle overnight. So, for example, one of my clients came to me with this super ambitious plan. She wanted to wake up at 5 a.m., work out for an hour, make fresh smoothies, meditate, and just have this perfect morning before work. And of course, this is all awesome in theory. But after a week, she was exhausted and frustrated. The routine she had designed was not sustainable for her actual real life. It did not consider the fact she has kids, she works long hours, she needs more sleep to function. And the problem is, we often treat routines like a sprint and not a marathon. We think we can push through, but inevitably life gets in the way, and we end up feeling like we failed. What we don't realize is that creating sustainable routines is less about doing more and more about doing less more consistently. I'm going to say it one more time. What we don't get is that creating sustainable routines is less about doing more and more about doing less more consistently. Okay, so why does it matter? Why are sustainable routines so important? I want you to think of routines like the foundation of a house. If you build a strong, steady foundation, the house can weather any storm. But if the foundation is shaky, even a little gust of wind will threaten to knock it down. A good routine is that strong foundation for your life. It keeps you grounded when things get really tough. One client of mine wanted to lose weight and improve his fitness, and he had tried all kinds of diets and workout plans in the past, but nothing stuck. What finally worked for him was not some intense regimen, it was a simple, consistent routine. He committed to walking for 20 minutes every day, drinking a glass of water before every meal, and preparing healthy snacks ahead of time. It wasn't anything major or flashy, but it was something he could sustain even when he was busy or stressed. And over time, those small habits added up to really big results. Sustainable routines give us structure. They help us they help us automate the decisions we make every day, freeing up mental energy for other things. Decision fatigue is a real thing. If you are stuck on the daily, having to make so many decisions, you are going to be exhausted and tired. And guess what happens then? Our routines fall to the wayside. We just don't have the energy to follow through. So, really automating as many decisions as we have to make every day really does free up energy for other things. And the best part is they actually get easier over time, because once your routine becomes a habit, it no longer feels like a struggle. It just becomes what you do. You don't have to think about it. It doesn't take energy. Okay, so how do we actually create these sustainable routines? The first step is to start really small. I always tell my clients, make it doable. It has to be something that is absolutely doable. So instead of trying to overhaul everything at once, pick one small thing you can do consistently. If you want to start exercising, do not aim for a 60-minute workout every day. Start with 10 minutes. Make it so small that it feels easy to stick with even on your busiest days. And in fact, that's a really good point. You want to start to create and plan your routines in a way that would work on your busiest days, because then you know you're going to be able to do it. So here's another example, another client who wanted to start eating healthier but really struggled with meal prepping. So instead of prepping entire meals, we just started with something simple for her. She would cut up vegetables and put them in the fridge every Sunday. That was it. Just veggies. It really seemed small, but over time, she found it so helpful that she naturally started prepping more and more. I see this all the time. If you start small, it really does lead into bigger things. She did not start with perfection. She started with consistency. Another strategy is to stack your new routine onto something you already do. This is called habit stacking, and it's a really great way to build routines without feeling overwhelmed. If you already make coffee every morning, you could use that time to practice a short mindfulness exercise. Or if you walk your dog every evening, maybe you add, I don't know, maybe like a quick 5 minute strength routine at the end. Maybe you just, at the end of your walk, you do 20 air squats. So by linking your new habit to something you're already doing, it feels less like you're adding to your day and more like you're just enhancing it. It's also really important to plan for obstacles. Life is not predictable, and there will be days when sticking to your routine feels a lot harder. And this is where flexibility comes in. Give yourself permission to adjust rather than giving up entirely. If your routine calls for a 30-minute workout, but you're exhausted one day, maybe you just do 10 minutes instead, or maybe you don't do a workout that day. This is where it gets so important to be flexible and giving yourself grace. The key is to keep showing up, even if it's in a smaller way. Okay, let's talk about some really specific strategies you can start using today to build sustainable routines. Start with one habit. Choose one small habit that feels manageable, that feels doable. Maybe it's drinking a glass of water when you wake up. Maybe it's going for a 5 minute walk after dinner. Maybe it's doing 10 air squats after a meal. Keep it really, really, really simple. Second practical strategy is that habit stacking I talked about. Attach your new habit to something you're already doing. If you brush your teeth every night, use that as a cue to do a short stretch or write down one thing you're grateful for. Third idea, set a minimum baseline. So create a minimum version of your routine that you can still do on tough days. For example, if you aim to exercise for 30 minutes, make a deal with yourself that you'll do at least 5 minutes no matter what. Often getting started is the hardest part, and once you're in it, you'll keep going. Number four, track your progress. You can use a simple habit tracker or calendar to mark off the days you stick to your routine. Seeing those check marks can be incredibly rewarding, can be really motivating to kind of keep you willing to do the thing. Some people need this more than others. I love my to-do list and I love to check them off. That feels very rewarding. If you're like me, this is probably going to be really, really helpful tracking your progress. And then finally, another one I talk about a lot, but that gets missed all the time. Really celebrate your small wins. Do not wait until you've mastered your routine to celebrate. Acknowledge your progress, no matter how small, okay? No matter how small, really acknowledge your progress. Even better would be to write down, like journal, what you did, like listing the things that you got right, that you followed through on. That sense of accomplishment actually helps to reinforce your habit on a brain level. Okay. So, really reinforcing what you're doing right and writing it down is even better because it really helps reinforce the habit that you're trying to create. Okay. So, what is the payoff? Why should you invest the time and energy into building these sustainable routines? The biggest payoff is freedom. When your routines are automatic, you do not have to spend the mental energy deciding whether or not to do something. Um, Jocko Willink, he's a famous ex-Navy SEAL, and his saying is discipline equals freedom. This is the same idea. When your routines are automatic, when you're disciplined in that way, but it's effortless, you do not have to spend the mental energy deciding whether or not you need to do something. And this is freedom. You don't have to fight with yourself about going for that walk or eating that healthy meal. It just literally becomes part of your day. Another huge benefit that I see with clients I work with that came as I journeyed through all this is confidence. When you stick to a routine, even a small one, you actually build trust in yourself. And you know how we're always talking about in this podcast, building that healthy relationship with yourself. Just as you would build a healthy relationship with someone else, you have to build trust in yourself. You start to believe, I can do this. I can follow through. I can trust myself. That confidence spills over into all other areas of your life. And finally, sustainable routines lead to real lasting results. This is not the giant changes. It's not giant changes that lead to our success. It is the small, consistent actions that add up over time. So, as you go about your day to day, I want you to think about one small habit you can start. Keep it simple, keep it doable, and remember that the goal is consistency, not perfection. Over time, those small actions will build into something powerful. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Weight Loss and Wellness for Real. If you found it helpful, be sure to share it with someone who might need a little extra motivation to build their own sustainable routines. Until next time, stay well, keep showing up for yourself one small step at a time. We will talk soon.
Did you know you can find a lot more help from me on my website? Go to heatherheynen.com. Heynen is spelled Heynen, and there you will find links to my online courses, how I work with clients one-on-one, as well as online with my coaching and counseling services that I offer.
The information in this podcast is intended to provide a broad understanding and knowledge of healthcare topics. This information is for educational purposes only and should not be considered complete and should not be used in place of advice from your physician or healthcare provider. We recommend you consult your physician or healthcare professional before beginning or altering your personal exercise, diet, or supplementation program.